What is up, Grunts team? Snag'em West here with a little bit of different type of video than our usual Let's Plays. I recently watched Arrow's video on like these 96 leaked Pokemon. So be sure you check out his video because this is kind of where I got the idea, and he covered some really great things, but I kind of want to cover, my own kind of take on this. So to begin, I'm not going to call these leaked Pokemon. These could be hinting, for sure, because in Gen 7 we kind of had the same thing, but because it happened in Gen 7, it's probably not hard for somebody else to make for Gen, 8. But we're going to cover this anyways because it's pretty interesting, to say the least. So, if we take a look here, right there we have Grookey, top left. Now notice how these things are colored, right? These are types, and these ones here, like where they have kind of like the dual coloring one, like kind of like where the fish are in this section here, or we can even go to the third stage evolution for Grookey. You can kind of see kind of how it kind of a gradients. They have a little gradient there of two different colors. So we obviously have Grookey, which we know about, which pure grass type. Then we have, Grookey's evolution, which is going to be as well also a monkey, grass type as well. But then right here, grass, and I'm not really sure what that color is. I'm trying to see if I can find it, where it's duplicating it. I would say, just gonna move it around here for a little bit. Try to see if we can find where it looks like almost like grass steel type. So maybe Grookey's final evolution will be a grass steel type. That color is kind of like resembles like the fencers down here. So Grookey's third evolution, potentially a grass steel type Pokemon, which, quad weak to fire, which would be scary. Then we have Scorbunny here, and then its second evolution. I'm not really taking too much thought process in like these pictures. I just think they're hints of, what it might potentially look like, but I'm not going to get really too much into what the picture looks like. We know it's going to be a bunny, and almost like a very feminine bunny, kind of like princess looking thing. Yeah, that's interesting. But so we have Grookey, that's grass, second evolution, which is also grass, and then evolves into, looks like a grass steel type at the end. And Scorbunny's final evolution looks to be, I see fire and fairy. Looks like a fairy type, a fire and a fairy type. And then the water type, we have Sobble here, which evolves into like this cool, like, the picture they use is a cool like dragon, but again, I'm not really getting too much into that. But it looks like to me, this color matches the ghost type Pokemon. So I see maybe a water ghost type. That would be kind of cool, especially with the like ability to kind of like camouflage that Sobble has. That'd be kind of cool. So then we have our rats here, which is this hamster one here is a here. Let's make it a little bigger for you guys here. Let's make it a little bigger so we can actually see what we're doing here. So over here we have the hamster, which looks to be, I just see one color there. I just see one color, so it looks like a normal type. And it looks like it evolves into a normal grass type, which would be kind of cool. And then we have a normal, like when we have our typical bird Pokemon, and we have a normal flying type bird, which evolves into just a plain flying type bird later on. Now this grasshopper here is actually pretty cool. I don't really know if we have a grass type. Did we have grasshopper Pokemon? I'm kind of blanking on that. So it looks like this is kind of like the bug color. It's kind of like this lime greenish color. These colors are kind of hard to see, especially, pulling an image off the internet. But looks like it's a grass type, and or a bug type, I should say. And it looks like it evolves into a bug fighting type. And now we have this squirrel here that looks to be just pure fire type. It doesn't have any evolutions, which is pretty interesting. And then we have our pigs here, which these look to be ground pigs because it looks like the color kind of resembles a ground type. So we have a ground pig that evolves into, you know, a bigger ground pig. And now this potato here. I'm trying to make this a little bigger for you guys here again. Try to make it a little bigger. So we have this potato here. If you look in the top left, but the potato looks to be a grass ground type, which is kind of cool. And then evolves into, you know, a blooming, you know, a potato. I'm not sure if that's a typo, if that's actually the name of that flower. I don't know. And that looks almost to be grass poison type. Oh, potato. You have a potato, and then you have like a fake potato that, you know, can poison. And then these symbols here, if you look at the potato, there's a symbol. I think that's version exclusive. Again, I don't know which one's version exclusive to what. 'Cause I don't know, you know, these characters and what they mean. So this is either, you know, this potato here seems to be a version exclusive, and then over here a little bit to the right, there's a root. What looks like it has another symbol. So these symbols mean it's gonna be version exclusive, which I think is pretty interesting. Maybe this is sword on the left, and then the shield is the other one. And so we have root, which looks to be a grass, and then you have root 2 that looks like a grass flying type. I kind of see a grass flying type resemblance here because it's not as blue as a fish next to it. So it's kind of like that blue that resembled a flying type earlier. And then we have the fish, which is just a plain water type. And then we have this fish too, which looks like a water fairy type almost. So that's kind of interesting. Then we have dogs here. A little bit to the right over here, we have dog 1 and dog 2, which look to be pure electric types. And then we kind of have like this fairy type penguin with the little fake mon thing. Maybe that's a hint at, you know, a fairy penguin, which would be kind of cool. And then let's move this up here. So now, like, if you look back in the top left here, whereas we keep going, you know, we're reading left to right here. We have Ant 1, Ant 2A, and Ant 2B. So maybe this almost looks like a branched evolution, maybe depending on the type of stone that you give it. Ant 1 looks like to be just a pure bug type. Ant 2A looks like to be a bug fire type. And then bug 2B looks to be a bug flying type? I think it's bug water type. I think it's a bug water type because it's more blue than the flying type has been. If you look here, the manatee is kind of like that blue there. So a bug, so it looks like the ant here has a branch evolution that can go from a bug fire type or to a bug water type, which would be pretty cool. We have a sheep 2 and sheep 3. To me, looks to be some kind of a shading thing here in sheep 3. Like this sheep 2 looks to be a pure normal type, but it looks like sheep 3 turns into a normal steel type. Again, that might be just a a stretch, or, you know, it could actually be that. But it looks like there's a little gradient there if you look at the sheep. The badger here, as we head over to the right side of the screen, this badger 1 looks to be rock ground type. And then badger 2 is just obviously a bigger rock ground type because that kind of looks like a rock color, and then we've seen the ground before. But that could also be Windows notifications going off. It almost, I haven't seen a dark type. It can almost, maybe it's a dark ground type. Because because if you look at the stone, it's not that color, the top color. So maybe the badgers are a dark ground type. Let me know in the comment section below. And we have our stones here. This is just a pure, looks like a pure rock type. And then this stone too, a rock fairy type, which that would be pretty interesting. A rock fairy type. Then we have rat over here. Let's move this thing up again. We have rat that looks to be a normal poison type. I see normal in there. I see a little bit of a poison. Then the clock. So there's our inanimate object, which clocks for, you know, this game is based off of, like, you know, the UK. Then that would be pretty interesting to have, like, our, you know, generation 8, you know, inanimate object be a clock, which I think would be cool. I kind of like the idea of a haunted clock. And those are just pure ghost types. And then we have manatees here. Manatee 1 looks to be pure water, and the Manatee 2 looks like to be a water ground type or a water rock type. Can't really tell. And then here we have those symbols again with the fencers. Again, version exclusives. These maybe be like Hitmon clones, which would be kind of cool. They both look to be fighting steel type, so that's pretty cool. That's a good combination. I like that combination. Kind of like a Lucario type combination there. Then we have Toad 1 and Toad 2. Let's scoot this over a little bit. Toad 1 and Toad 2, which I see a Poison Fairy for both of these. Poison Fairy types. That would be interesting. Those kind of frog designs. Like, kind of have a cute little frog that evolves into like a big ugly frog. And then we have Sloths, which is good. It's been a while since we've seen a Sloth Pokemon. I'm sure Slow Spearown would be super happy about that. They look to be ground grass types. Ground grass, yeah. Maybe rock grass, ground grass. It's hard to tell with the browns, because there's just a slight shade difference. And you don't know if it's actually the image or, But this is a good hint at what we can have here. Then we have Tiger 1 and Tiger 2, which would be so cool. I want a Sabertooth Tiger Pokemon. So this would be really freaking cool if we get this. I see rock ice types. Rock ice. Maybe these are the fossils of this generation. They're kind of two-stage, And, the fossil Pokemon's primary typing would be rock. Rock ice types. So let's scoot this on over here. Now we're here at the bats. Bats look to be dark flying. That's cool. Bat Pokemon, we need more bats. Hopefully they have better designs than Zubat and Woobat. I hate their designs. Then we have moles. These two looks like I see almost rock fairy, ground. They're probably ground type because it's a mole. Ground fairy. So maybe they're gonna be kind of like cute little ground type Pokemon. Then we have a Porcupine, which looks to be pure steel type. So that would be kind of cool to have a little Porcupine Pokemon that's pure steel. And then we have an electric Gazelle. That evolves into an electric... It almost looks like electric fire type. Which, that would be pretty freaking cool if we have an electric fire type Gazelle. Very unique typing there. Snail looks to be ground type. Snail 2 looks to be ground type. But it looks a little... I don't know, these two colors between the snails look a little different. So I'm not really sure. And then we have our usual Pika clone. This one looks to be an electric fighting type. Pika clone. Now that would be kind of interesting. Then we have a Komodo, which that color I feel like is the poison type. Because the dragon doesn't... I think we have dragons down here. Yeah, dragon's more of like a lighter pink. So this might be a pure poison type for this Komodo. And then we have an IV1 and IV2. IV1 being pure grass and IV2 being grass poison. And then there's our evolution. A steel evolution would be pretty cool. And no better generation to introduce that with like the kind of like the industrial feel we're getting from that. So let's go up here. Let's move everything back up now. We have a Ghost 1, a Ghost 2, and a Ghost 3. Ghost 1 being a pure Ghost type. Ghost 2 being Ghost Steel, and Ghost 3 being Ghost Steel, which would be a pretty good type too. We have a Nose Bear that's pure Fairy type, based off the color. Ferret 1. It almost looks... I don't know what color that is. I want to say it's dark type, but it almost... I don't know, I can't really tell. Like, it looks kind of darkish, so maybe that's a dark type ferret. Flea 1, that's pure bug type. Then you have Eyes 1. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's Pokemon Big Eyes. Who knows? But it looks to be Ghost Poison. Or maybe that's Psychic. I realize I haven't really said any Psychic type Pokemon, so maybe some of these would be Psychic. Again, it's really hard to tell with the colors. Maybe this is Ghost Psychic. Then we have an Alpaca. That looks to be Steel Ice or normal ice, and Ice Alpaca. Interesting. And then we have narwhals here. So we move this thing up a little bit more. We have a little narwhal here that's pure water, and then there's another narwhal that looks to be water fighting type, which be pretty interesting. Then we have robot. This robot here looks to be version exclusive. Looks to be, I see pure, maybe, I see steel electric. Maybe it's just pure electric type. Then this robot too, and then the snowman, another version exclusive it looks like here. Based off this hint that this, chart is giving us. I see pure ice for both of these. Then we have a thorn Pokemon that looks to be ground fighting. A kangaroo that looks to be pure normal. Maybe that's steel. And that evolves into a kangaroo that looks to be, maybe, I think the kangaroo is a normal type, and then this other kangaroo here is a pure fighting type. Then we have a unicorn, which would be pretty cool. I think Rapidash is the only unicorn Pokemon that we have. So I have a pure fairy type unicorn would be cool. We have a little Nessie here. It almost looks like it's dark water type, which would be pretty dope. This dragon looks to be pure dragon type. That evolves into a dragon ice and another dragon ice. Then we have what looks like more version exclusive. We have this metal snake that looks to be steel poison. And then we have maybe steel psychic. I see steel, probably steel poison, probably makes more sense. Then we have this horse one that looks to be pure grass type. And then we have the wolves, which are probably what the logos are based off of, so that kind of makes sense. We'll probably get their designs later on. I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like they're fighting steel fighting types for both of them. So that'd be kind of cool. I'm kind of interested to see their designs. And then we have Nords here. We have north, east, south, west. The north being looks like a normal water type for a tortoise. East 1 looks to be I see psychic electric. Let me know what you guys see there. South 1, I see a fire. Looks like almost a fire dragon. A fire dragon for South 1 here, and then West 1 looks to be a pure rock type or ground type. Which some of these get cut off here, but it looks like they're version exclusive as well. These two at least are. The East and West are version exclusives. Then we have a Plague 1 that looks to be ghost poison. And then the Giant 1 looks to be a fighting ice type. And then we have 3 of these. These are probably reserved for mythicals. So maybe we're going to have 3 mythicals for this generation. Yeah, so I saw Arrow, post this. Let's make this a little smaller so it fits back in the screen so we can see it all together. I saw him post a video on this, and he kind of had some interesting stuff to say. I wanted to add my own 2 cents in. Normally I don't really do these videos, but I just really wanted to break it down myself. And I was like, I might as well make a video. So be sure to leave a like if you guys like. Comment on, what kind of types you guys think these are. I know there's some of them that I was kind of questioning. And let me know if you guys think this thing has any kind of, this thing's probably complete nonsense. It's just kind of cool. And kind of a cool discussion of these are, in fact, our new Pokemon. So yeah, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more Pokemon content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.